The massive U.S. military presence in Syria remains an issue that is still widely ignored by the international community, and Washington is quite active there.
The U.S. strikes targeted infrastructure facilities used by groups affiliated with Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The United States does not seek conflict, but will continue to take necessary measures to protect and defend our people. U.S. forces remain in Syria to ensure the enduring defeat of ISIS.
Interesting, because despite all of Donald Trump's boasting about the United States giving ISIS the boot, it's still alive and well. The Pentagon admits the group is still up and running.
We should retain our U.S. military presence in northeast Syria because ISIS is not defeated.
You'll recall how back in 2016, John Kerry cynically admitted that the United States wanted to use ISIS. A conversation leaked by WikiLeaks shows how John Kerry admitted the United States was hoping to use ISIS for leverage in imposing regime change.
The reason Russia came in is because ISIL was getting stronger. And we know that this was growing. We were watching. We saw that Daesh was growing in strength, and we thought Assad was threatened. We thought, however, we could probably manage, that Assad might then negotiate. Instead of negotiating, you got Assad. Now you got Putin to support it.
So the United States wasn't even really interested in fighting ISIS over the years. And if you look at what they've done in that time to combat ISIS, it's really not that much. So what exactly is the United States trying to do? Here's what U.S. President Donald Trump has openly admitted about the U.S. presence in Syria and the purpose that it serves.
We're keeping the oil. We have the oil. The oil is secure. We left troops behind only for the oil.
U.S. actions since then seem to confirm these words pretty well. The Syrian oil ministry says the United States loots roughly 83% of Syria's daily oil production. That's up to 66,000 barrels per day. And since 2011, the United States has looted and stolen $105 billion from Damascus. The U.S. presence in Syria doesn't seem to be about fighting terrorism. Hypocrisy abounds. So how much longer will the United States be able to occupy and steal from a sovereign country without the international community batting an eye?
The United States has invaded Syria and occupied it, as Caleb Mopan so rightly points out, for the last number of years, and is pillaging the country, looting the country. And the international community, so-called, doesn't bat an eye, because the international community is NATO and all the American allies who turn a blind eye to this American aggression and invasion. The United States was not fighting terrorists in Syria. They were supporting terrorists in Syria to try and overthrow the government of Syria. And why were they doing that? Not only to steal the oil of the Middle East, which they've been doing since 1945, or trying to, and controlling the oil supply of the world, but they also want to attack Iran, and they cannot do it by an invasion force coming up through the Persian Gulf. So they hoped to have overthrown Assad in Syria, then use Syria as a launching pad for a ground invasion of Iran. And the Russian and Syrian resistance to that and the defeat of the American intentions in the last few years by Syria and Russia and Iran as allies has blunted the American plans and stopped them. So now they're reduced to just looting the oil